Hi, I'm Matt from Happy Body Slow Brain and watching Backstage Plus. Well, right off the bat, the big plus about being a DIY band is you have control of everything you do. So it doesn't matter if you want to make the weirdest music you can possibly make, you can go out and do it, and there's no one to tell you no. But the flip side is that if you decide to make that weird music, that you kind of have to take on the trouble of trying to market yourself to someone else. And I mean, that's the way it is for any DIY band, trying to get your band out there without any money or whatever little money you are able to scrounge up. But as I always say, I think the best thing with DIY is always the control that you have over your music. And to me, you know, having honest music is a big part of hopefully appealing to people, and that's kind of an exciting thought to me, to make records that I really want to make without anyone telling me yes or no, and then going out and trying to find an audience for it. Happy Body Slow Brain started as a project for me back in 2007, and most of the music is music that I've written, at least for the record so far. So it's kind of eventually moving in the way of being a band. We just, up until now, Isaac and I have just been kind of the regular guys. Finding people that are dedicated to something that's kind of a new upstart sort of thing is a little more difficult, especially at the age that we're at. We're about in the mid-20s now, and people just aren't as into making the sacrifice. You know, everyone's kind of settled into a more adult life, you know, paying rent and things that kind of lock you down at home, you know. And so it's been a challenge for us up to this point to find people that are truly dedicated to being in a band and starting from the ground up. But you know, eventually I'd like to find people that are committed and regular. And at the moment we're very fortunate to have a few drummers that are really great, that can jump right in, and like we don't have to worry about it too much. The cool thing for me is it started as my project, so if it turns out that there's a bunch of people that just kind of come through the door, I can always keep making records because I've been writing most of the material anyway for all the instruments in the band. So that's another thing I really like about this band. You know, I don't have to sit around and wait on somebody. I can just kind of do it and get it recorded, and then just find people to kind of fill the spots until maybe someone is ready to commit. I'm working on the next record at the moment. I have probably 8 or 9 really strong ideas. There's no like definitive plans on recording or anything like that. I was feeling a little lofty like late last year and feeling like maybe I could do a record a year, but that's kind of a lot, and it's a lot more work that I'd rather be spending trying to build the band first before I start just putting out records. So maybe when we can develop more of a fan base, then we can start releasing stuff a little more regularly like that and being prolific. But maybe I'm thinking LP number 2 sometime mid next year, maybe record it in the late fall or late winter if I can get enough material. So it's kind of like, for us, it's calling in favors from friends and trying to align ourselves with like-minded bands and musicians like Gavin, or like A Great Big Pile of Leaves, or you know, like the band, we're going to be touring with a band called RX Bandits that we love a lot, and they were a big influence on me. And so it's kind of like trying to find little families and little communities that are into the same sort of thing, because my experience at Taking Back Sunday was very different. It was so like upper level kind of major label thing, and there's a lot of politics that go into that. And so it's kind of nice to start from the ground up and really try to surround ourselves with people that are inspiring musically and personally. It's easy. I have a really supportive fiance that we're getting married later this year. And we've been dating for about 7 years, and she is just so great about that stuff. She's never sweated me about the pursuit of music, you know, because she's been around since I was playing shows for 2 people in front of nobody, and then she's been around for the really big stuff. So she's been really supportive and family too, and that makes it a lot easier to kind of skip and leave town for a while and try to pursue something that's so important to me and close to my heart. So it's things like that, you know. It's a refreshing experience to have a DIY thing and really play music that gets me excited, like makes me want to shake around, and then to have a support system like I do with my fiance and with my friends, and being in a band with other like-minded musicians just makes the whole thing a lot easier. And it's such a contrast going from Taking Back Sunday to kind of starting over, but it's like the most rewarding contrast ever, because I really get to forge my own path and do it the way that I really